Hey guys, so today I'm going to be sharing with you just some of the tips and tricks that I personally have been using when buying textbooks and other supplies that could save you a couple bucks to even a couple $100s. Per usual, these tips specifically apply to San Jose State, but that doesn't mean that other colleges don't have these resources as well, in addition to more resources that San Jose may not even have. And in addition, later in the video, I will also cover just the supplies that a first semester animation student will be needing at San Jose State. So yeah, here are all of my tips and tricks when buying cheap textbooks. So I've used 3 online platforms in order to buy my books for the past 2 semesters. And those are the first one being the Barnes & Noble college bookstore, and the second is Facebook, and then the third is Amazon. The 2 other sites that I haven't used but I've heard really good things about and a lot of my friends use are Chegg and Slugbooks. This first platform is actually affiliated with the bookstore that is on campus at San Jose. This site is powered both by San Jose State and Barnes & Noble. This Barnes & Noble site I believe is used across a lot of other colleges, but together they create the website sjsu.bncollege.com. My favorite thing about this website is how you can find all the books you need for almost all of your classes if your professors use this site as well, under this master list, which has all the correct ISB numbers and just the exact copy that your professor wants for the class. All you have to do is go to under the text on the homepage, there is the main bar, and under the textbooks tab, and then under that you will find textbooks. It'll take you to a new page, and all you have to do is input all of the correct class information, and voila! That is all you need to do, and it should, if the professor uses it, takes you to all the books, the exact books that the professor wants for that class of the semester. Just make sure to put, if there are different professors teaching the same class, make sure to put the correct section, because between different professors they may require different things. But like I said, not all professors use this, so this might be kind of aloof if they don't, or I don't know what other reason why it wouldn't be up. Once you have achieved this master list, you can also directly rent the book from the bookstore on campus, which is really convenient. You don't have to drive anywhere, so you can rent used, rent new, and then can also buy used and rent new, which is very convenient. Personally, I did not find any of the books that I needed my first semester on here because I needed them longer than the rental period could require. Something else that the SJSU Barnes & Noble College Bookstore site does is that they price match. So if you do find a book that is cheaper on another site, you can always go into the store and let them know. I believe so. I haven't used it personally, so don't quote me on that. In addition, the Barnes & Noble site, I think this is for the whole school year, but if you sign up and give your information, you can get 25% off your first purchase of Spirit apparel. So it's pretty nice. So the second one requires a lot more searching, which is Facebook. I'm not sure how many of you guys still use Facebook, but it was super convenient for me. San Jose specifically has the SJSU Textbooks for Sale page, which is where I found all of my humanities honors books, which I also had a video about showing you guys. That was probably the best price that I would ever probably get for my rest of the year. But it required the most work. There was a lot of direct messaging between other students and just having to drive to Santa Clara to go pick up the books, and it was a super good deal, and it was totally worth it, but it is definitely a lot more work. So if you don't necessarily have the time to look and message and try and find the best deal for the books, I would say don't necessarily use it. Facebook was probably the best for me. So the page again, which is I'll link down below as well, is SJSU Textbooks for Sale. It is an open page that anyone can be added to. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking out, at least try searching for some of your books. So the last site that I used, which is Amazon, and it's not I don't know. I have mixed emotions about using Amazon. I liked that they would come quickly, if especially you can get Prime 6 months for free if you're a student, so I used that a lot, and so having them come in, which was probably the most convenient for me. Price point wise, it is a little iffy, and then finding the correct and exact book copy can be kind of difficult depending on how much they have in stock. 2 of the books that I bought on Amazon were used, and then 1 was new. They were all decently priced, and then the reason why I bought them on Amazon was because, how I mentioned before, I needed them for a longer period than the rental period of Amazon and both the San Jose bookstore would allow, so that's why I purchased them used. Quality wise, like, they're decent. It's people just reselling their books back to Amazon. You can also do smile.amazon.com, which if you pick a certain organization, I believe, like, is it 10%? Probably less than that. But a certain percentage of the funds that you pay for anything at Amazon go back to the organization of your choice. So recommend checking out Amazon as well. Alright, so that's all I got for general textbook information. There's probably a ton of other videos online that can help you out and find cheaper alternatives as well, but those were the 3 that I used. So now I'm going to dive into more specifically what an animation first semester animation student will need at San Jose State. And so if you're taking a lot of studio classes, you're not going to need the textbooks. What you're going to need are a buttload of supplies. What's really convenient is that the animation program, or a lot of the professors, have come together and created a master list as well, and they have gone to Blick Art Supplies, and they create these lovely packages that you can purchase on the first week of school for, I believe, like 3 or 2 days, and Blick actually comes to San Jose State, since the closest Blick, I believe, is back up in Berkeley. It's super convenient, especially for first semesters or first years or even transfers who may not have access to a car to drive, and the closest art store, I believe, is University Art, which is on, like, Story? Oh man, I don't remember where it is, but it is a little bit further down. So I bought 2 of the 3 packages for your first semester, and I felt that sometimes it was almost unnecessary for the supplies they included, and the price was still pretty ridiculous. I believe the Annie 12 was probably like the cost of 5 to 3 textbooks on average, and then Annie 50 was $100, and so I'd say that it's like 2 to 3, or even 1. Some textbooks can get expensive. And then Annie 50, I did not buy the kit. So this is a part of the Annie 12 kit that I got. So you get this lovely crate of all these supplies. And so there are things like this guy and this divider and, like, oh wait, I'm not sure if this came with this kit, but then you also get this brush, and then you get your eraser shield, and you need this guy. Oh my gosh, there's so, oh wow, I was looking for these. Yeah, but there's a lot. Man, this was a lot more than I remember putting in here. But this is some of the stuff, not the watercolors or the markers, but so this is the Annie 12 kit. I think it was close to $350. It was just like the first major purchase that I was not ready for. It was like the first day of class, I was freaking out, and because like I said, Blick is only there for a couple days, and I was like on the phone with my mom. I was like, should I do this? Is it worth it? Should I wait, come back home, buy all the supplies at Blick for myself, which a lot of students do as well. So there was a buttload of stuff in the Annie 12 kit that I just didn't use, but I will put a list of things that I use almost every day in class, so I will put that in the description as well, because I just don't want to bore you with just a list of me spewing. And so Annie 24 is the other kit that I bought, which I would also recommend, because buying the correct paper and the correct board was imperative, especially for the massive projects that you'll do. I had Angela Wu, and so in her kit we had, I believe it was 4 big drawing, they're like the huge, I don't know what the dimensions are, but it's like 24 by 30 sketch pads, and I only used 2, but they give you 4, so you can also buy those at the bookstore as well. Annie 24 supplies you could buy on your own, but just for me at the time being, like, price-wise and just time-wise, it was more effective. If you do buy Annie 50 stuff, there is one part where you have to buy a sketchbook. So this is the one that they gave the kit, but it is toned paper. Oh yeah, you can see my ugly ones, but that was also a necessity for Angela's class. Let me show you, see if I have a nice page. Yeah, these are so ugly. Oh my goodness, here's some nudes. The last class for your first semester Annie student is Animation 50. I have a list of all the stuff that you will need. The main things are a laptop, a camera, and access to a printer, camera, and scanner, black presentation board that's 11 by 14 inches, and then Lextra matte black illustration board, 2 sketchbooks, which I will show you. So these are the 2 sketchbooks. Actually, this one was a personal, but it was the same size as the one I used. I actually don't know what happened to the other one. And this is the other one that I used. This was for our daily sketches. This is the mixed media, so I was able to use ink and it wouldn't bleed through. Things like that. Oh, so beautiful. Wow. Wow, art. So those 2 are for your master copies and for your daily sketches. And then in addition, you also need, it says a pack of construction paper. You only need it for the first 2 days. So I'm just saying, you know, cop some from Michael's, I don't know, something like. And then an X-Acto knife, double-sided tape, and then you also need like the obvious, a ruler, pencils, and stuff like that. So yeah. And then also, just tidbit, this is the other class that I took, that's a part of second semester, but Annie 55. That one is super low on supplies, which I actually really liked. You need the same sketchbook. This one, it has to be 8.5 or greater. It can be spiral bound, hardbound, whatever. Or at least I had Owen, and so he didn't really care. And then you need a lot of newsprint. Holy moly, you need a lot of newsprint. And then like the big newsprint, the huge ones that are like bigger than your face. And then you also need a lot of charcoal. I probably skipped so much, but just read it all in the description, because you know reading empowers youth. So just read all the stuff that I included at the bottom. That is it. That's all I have for today. I know it isn't super crazy, mind-blowing, or informative, but I hope it helped. I hope you have a great first, third, second, fourth semester, quarter, who knows. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, comments, you know, leave them in the comment bar below. I love reading them. I love hearing that, you know, what I've made mistakes on and learned from benefit you guys who are going to college, because I was a mess. Let me tell you, I was a mess. And I will see you with another video later. Bye!